Oh, hey everyone, and welcome back to the Scaling Deep podcast. I am Lisa Princik, a membership coach and business strategist, and I'm always here to share with you the things that I'm most excited about, that I'm learning and implementing and working with my fellow members of the Scaling Deep Society and ready to share with you. So today we're going to talk about one really important metric that's going to help you gauge the success of your membership. This is probably the one thing that you need to know. But first, I just want to tell you what I'm really excited about this month. I know we're full swing into the new year and we're finally back to school, and I'm excited to be working on some new things. I mean, I hope you do feel what's possible for this year. I think that in a lot of cases, we haven't quite seen the disaster in the economy that everyone has been predicting. Yeah, things are a bit tight. It's not like the boom era right now, but it doesn't mean that really good offers and really good services don't do well. So I just want you to remain hopeful and be excited about your offer, because that's going to be like number one for getting you to get it out there in the world and get more people on board and ready to buy. So the two things that I'm most excited about are, one, the upcoming live training that I have happening next week, which is the Six-Figure Membership Secret. I am doing the first live training that I have done in a long time. It's totally free, so you can sign up for that at scalingdeep.com/live. It'll be super fun to share some latest trends and predictions in the membership world with you, and also share how you can get started on your program more simply and sooner than you think. The second thing I'm really excited about, which I will do another podcast on down the road, is starting a private podcast for my membership, which is really exciting to me because I'm always thinking about things that I want to tell them that are really behind the scenes stuff. And it's such an easy way for me. So I can't wait to do that. But today I'm here to talk to you about the one metric that's so important to your membership. And that is the Net Promoter Score. Now, you may have not heard about this because it's not something that's talked about a lot in the membership world. Everyone's really obsessed with churn rates and retention rates and things like that. And while I think that's really critical to know when you've got a really giant membership, but you know how we often hear about things in the online business world or in the world in general, and then we try to take it down to the level we're at, which could be like 10 members or 30 members or 50 or even 100, or it's going up and down enough that we can't really implement these high volume membership stats or practices. It just doesn't make sense because it's like hard to figure out, and maybe we're selling it kind of in a different way, like 3-month minimums and or annual only, and we haven't even been around long enough to know what the retention rate would be like, because it takes a whole year to see someone go through it and then decide to sign up or not sign up. So it gets really difficult. So I wanted to talk about the one tool that I used like 20 something years ago in more of the consulting world, which was the Net Promoter Score. Now, the Net Promoter Score is a way to gauge what your members overall think of your program. And I think that's a really great way to start to figure out member satisfaction instead of going towards churn and try to get technical. Just figure out what people think of your program and take that pulse. And it is an easy question that is like a scale of 1 to 10 answer. And the way you calculate it will give you a sense of how it's going for you. So I'm going to explain a little bit about it because it's really easy to Google, but I will share a little bit about it with you and why I think it's valuable. Because we want to know how our members are doing. We want to be able to survey them. Now, I just did a member survey that was short. It was like a 2-minute survey. I seeded it with all the things that, like, are you interested in learning this, this, and this, and this? And what do you think of this, this, and this, and this? And it was very few open-ended questions because those are the things that take time. Of course, I had an extra one at the bottom. And then I also had this rating score, which is basically asking, how likely are you to recommend the Scaling Deep Society to a friend or colleague? And that 1 to 10 answer is a little different than you think. And here's what it means. So anyone who answers in the 1 to 6 category, or I should say 0 to 6, I don't think I had a 0 on mine, is actually considered a detractor. Okay, so while you wouldn't think 6 is as bad as 1, it means that they're not really that impressed, and they are going to potentially say to someone, "Oh, I'm interested in joining this. What do you think?" Meh, I wouldn't do it, So they're actually taking away from your reputation or the reputation of the program, unless they're really, really qualifying it. They're at the level of like, I wouldn't do it. And they're kind of going to say it's not that great. Even at a 6, they're borderline. 7 or 8s are passives. So anyone who's a 7 or 8 out of 10, believe it or not, you'd think that was pretty high. I mean, I like to think I'm like to vote things 8 all the time. Like, how do you feel on that? Oh, I'm at an 8. But the problem with 7 or 8 is that they're a bit ambivalent. So it means that while they're not having any kind of negative experience, they're not having really an out of this world experience, and they're kind of neither here nor there on recommending your program. So you're not going to get any real positive promoters on it. They might say, well, sure, you can, but I don't know, it's okay, or it's pretty good, but I don't know, and that doesn't necessarily get you the rave reviews or the testimonials or sales or even the renewals. And then there are the 9s or the 10s, the promoters. And those are your super fans. Those are the ones who love the program and they're super excited about it. And they're really going to spread the word and say positive things. They'll probably give you great testimonials, and they are big fans, and they really are grateful to be there for all the reasons. And how you calculate this score is that you actually take the number of promoters and subtract them by the number of detractors. So you basically ignore the passives. And anything above 0 is actually good. So above 0 is good, above 20 is great, and above 50 is amazing. Okay. So that's how you look at that, and you can gauge, like, are you on the right track? And here's the thing, you can look at it like, what can I do to just slightly improve some things in order to get more people super fans, right? Because that's what you actually want. You want to know that the ones who are really using it are happy with it, not happy with it. Because some of the detractors might be people who are barely using it, and it might be for reasons that are outside of your own. So that's why you just want to make sure that your balance is that the more people are really excited than not excited, because it's those ones that you want to kind of improve upon, and it's getting more of the really excited ones that you really want to make sure that you can do, because those are the ones who are going to be like holding the torch for your program and making it easy for you to show up and do amazing work with them. So that is how this score works, and you can even do it with a small amount of people. For sure, it's not going to be super accurate when you have tiny numbers, but you can start to gauge, because you just, again, want to make sure that you have more super fans than you do have negative experiences. And it shouldn't take that much for you to be able to tip that scale over, right? So even if you had 5 people who responded, all you want is to have more people on the high level or than the low. And perhaps you might end up with a score that is at 0, and that everyone is sort of at that passive level, which does mean that no one's having a negative experience. And then you just want to make sure that something is happening to add that to that really super positive experience for at least a few of the members. So you're not trying to gain the adoration of every single member. It just means that you want some of them, the ones who are involved, the ones that actually really care about the outcome, are getting good value for it, are really grateful to be there, because that is within your sphere of influence and your control. Getting people to show up and do the work in the first place is less so in your control, and those might be some of those detractors. So you just want to impress the ones that it's possible to impress, and that should start to give you a sense of where to go with things, and a sense of, well, what are the people who scored, say, 9 or 10 out of 10, what do they have to say about what they want? What are they getting out of it? And those are the ones you might want to focus on, like what is working for them, And the ones that are in that 0 to 6 category and they want all these things, but still might not like it and show up to it, you have to really understand, am I ever going to make them happy? Are they interested at all in this? Are they still going to be like, even if you deliver it, I'm not going to be a fan because it's not where I'm at in my life. Okay. So that is the Net Promoter Score. I highly recommend throwing in that question on an annual basis to your membership, just to get a sense of the pulse of where they're at. They can answer the question really honestly and easily. It's easier than an arbitrary, like, how would you rate this membership? Because it's like, based on what? It's like, how likely are you to recommend this membership to a friend or a colleague? It allows them to come up with their own reasons for why they would or would not. And then it gives you a gauge of these two extremes, which are what you need to pay attention to in your programs instead of trying to get everyone more in the center, right? So I think it's just more accurate. It's going to give you more confidence. I was pleased to see that I'm over 20. So I know that I'm doing great. I'd love to get to amazing, but I also know that where I'm at in my program and my business is I also can't pull out every bell and whistle because I just don't have the capacity to do that while I still grow the program, add more people to it, and add to my profitability, which is really important to me because my expenses are high. And while my revenue is growing, my expenses are like crazy too. And I do need to make sure that it is all worth it, right? In the end, we all need to. So I hope that's been helpful for you today. I'm super excited to see as many of you as possible at my free live training next week, the Six-Figure Membership Secret. I'm going to be sharing with some really amazing ways to look at memberships. I'm always looking for new ways to look at things. I don't ever like to buy into the same old, what everyone's telling you and teaching you. And I hope to be coming up with new approaches and ideas and really just the truth behind it, and that it's not all one size fits all formulas. We can't evaluate things the way everyone else is. If something isn't working for you, the way that people are looking at it, then it's okay to try to find a new way to do it. It's okay to find your way of doing it and to come up with something that feels right for you. So thanks for being with me here today, and I cannot wait to see you on the training next week. Bye for now.